Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make a double fold quilt binding on your sewing machine. At this point I'm always really eager to get my quilt done, so I'm going to show you the best method to get this done quickly while still having your quilt look perfect. Here's what you'll need. Apart from the quilt itself, you'll need a few basic things. I'm going to use this 80 weight thread called Deco Bob to stitch the binding. It's a very fine thread with a matte finish, so it will hide in the fabric and make the stitching less obvious. You will also need a cutting mat with a rotary cutter and a quilting ruler to cut your binding accurately. An iron is needed to give your binding strips a quick press. Sewing pins and quilt clips are also very useful. I'll be using both of them for this project. Most importantly, you'll need the fabric you want to bind your quilt with. These strips are prepared for binding, but I'll show you how to cut and sew them together. Most patterns will tell you how much fabric you need for a binding. However, if you're doing your own quilt, you'll have to do some math to figure out how much you need. There is an excellent binding calculator provided by Quilter's Paradise, so I'll leave the link in the description below. Alternatively, you can use the following formula to calculate how much you'll need. Take the width of your quilt multiplied by 2 and add it with the length of your quilt multiplied by 2 to get the circumference of your quilt. Then add another 10 inches to be on the safe side so you don't run out of binding. Take this number and divide it by the width of your fabric to find out the number of strips you're going to need to cut to complete your binding. So, for example, I might have a 20-inch by 30-inch quilt. The width of my binding fabric is 43 inches, and I want my binding to be 2.5 inches wide. 20 inches times 2 plus 30 inches times 2 plus an extra 10 inches to be safe equals 110 inches. I'll take the 110 inches and divide that by the width of the fabric, which is 43 inches, to get 2.6 strips of binding required. I can round this up to 3 strips to make it easier. Knowing this, I want to cut 3 strips along my width of fabric that are 2.5 inches wide each to have enough binding for my quilt. Now that I know how much fabric I need, I've gone and cut my strips to the measurements required. Next, I need to sew these strips together into one long binding. To do that, I need to trim both ends of my strip to a 45-degree angle, which can be measured on the quilting ruler. Make sure they're both trimmed facing the same direction. Take the ends of the 2 different strips and place them right sides together, diagonal ends matched up, and pin them together. However, if you line up the corners perfectly and you sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance, your pieces will end up a 1/4 inch off. So you will need to offset your pieces by a 1/4 inch to begin with so they match up perfectly. Because the thread is so fine, I'll set my stitch length to 1.8. Now, sew the pieces together. Do this for the rest of your strips until all the pieces are sewn into one long strip. You can leave the end of the last strip squared off. Turn the binding strips wrong sides together and press to crease it together, creating the double fold binding. However, if you feel confident and don't want to spend time pre-creasing your binding, you can fold it by hand as you sew along. Now I'm going to open my binding up on the squared off end and fold it over into a diagonal line so the touching edges are straight. Press the fold to create a crease. We're now ready to start sewing it on. We're going to start by stitching down the end that has the diagonally folded edge. Lay the binding out completely open on the back side of the quilt, starting with the end you made the diagonal fold. I prefer to position it around the middle of the quilt on one of the long sides. Match the edge of the binding with the edge of the quilt. stitch it on using a 1/4 inch seam allowance and sew to a little bit after the raw edge of the fabric. Now snip your threads and take your quilt out of the machine. Now I'm going to fold over the binding back in half. Move your quilt about 3 or 4 inches down from where your stitching ended and start stitching your double fold binding down, also using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. That gap will create a nice little pocket to tuck the tail into when you come back around. At the corner of the quilt, I'm going to place a pin a 1/4 inch from the end of the side I'm on. I'm going to stop my stitching when I reach that pin. I will backstitch to make sure my stitching doesn't come out, and then take the quilt out of the machine. Now finger press the binding into a right angle. Then fold it back down over itself to form a tidy corner, like so. Make sure the edge of the binding is lined up with the edge of the quilt. I'll use a pin to keep it from shifting. Put the quilt back in the machine and continue sewing at a 1/4 inch seam allowance down the next edge. Continue doing this for the rest of the quilt. Now I've come back around to where I first started. We can now join the strips together. Since I have a lot of extra binding, I'll trim some off, making sure that there's still enough to completely fit inside the pocket I made. Otherwise there will be a hole in my binding. Tuck the trimmed end into the open pocket we made earlier with the diagonal piece folded around on top. I'm going to hold it in place with my fingers and continue to sew down until I reach the starting stitches. When you finish, trim your threads and you can see the binding is completely stitched to the back side of the quilt. I can now focus on sewing the binding to the front of the quilt. Fold the binding around to the front and use the quilt clips to hold it in place. Sew down close to the folded edge. You can start closer to the corner this time to hide your back stitch. When you reach a corner, fold the next edge over to make a crisp diagonal mitered line and sew over it. Keep the needle down and pivot the quilt to the next edge. Continue sewing all around the quilt until you finish stitching it all down. There will be a small gap left where you started and ended your binding. If you wish, you can hand sew this down. However, I find it doesn't cause a problem for me to leave it like this. So there you have it, one beautifully bound quilt. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more tutorials. Or you can leave a comment below and let us know what you'd like to see next. Thank you, and we'll see you all next time.